Ladies and gentlemen, your safety is our top priority. Please, take a moment to familiarize yourself with the 6 exits in the venue. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and 2 in the back.
In the heart of the eastern province of Saudi Arabia, a beacon of academic excellence and innovation shines brightly. King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, KFUPM, has embarked on a transformative journey, reshaping the landscape of education and research. Since 2020, KFUPM has undergone a remarkable transformation driven by a vision to diversify the Saudi economy. Through extensive research and analysis of global trends and local demands, 10 strategic sectors were identified as the pillars of the future. These sectors represent the future of Saudi Arabia, and KFUPM is at the forefront of driving research, innovation, and development in each of them. To become a world-leading research-intensive university, KFUPM has undergone a paradigm shift in its research enterprise. 5 key dimensions have been transformed: research structure, avenue, approach, capacity for research, and agenda for research priorities. The research structure has been restructured around multidisciplinary themes, with over 20 interdisciplinary research centers aligned with strategic economic sectors. The university has transitioned to a unified research realm, fostering interdisciplinary research among faculty from diverse backgrounds and specializations. KFUPM has shifted its research approach for innovation and collaborating with potential industry partners. The university has forged strategic partnerships with industry leaders, establishing joint research centers, consortia, and joint ventures to drive innovation and create new economic sectors. To support its growing research activities, KFUPM has significantly increased its investments in human capital and infrastructure. The university has recruited top talent, provided ample funding, and upgraded its research infrastructures. To ensure coherence and alignment, KFUPM has developed a clear agenda of research priorities. The strategy is aligned with the national priorities of global challenges, with a focus on advancing research beyond publications and patents to commercial deployment for economic impact. KFUPM will achieve its research goals through strategic partnerships with technology developers, end users, government agencies, and society organizations. KFUPM's transformative journey is a testament to its commitment to innovation and its role in shaping Saudi Arabia's future. As the university continues to evolve, it will remain at the forefront of research and development, driving excellence and research.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning and welcome to the Saudi Conference on Information Systems, SaudiCIS. My name is Rinad Al-Safi and I'm an undergraduate computer science student at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, KFUPM. It's my privilege to stand before you today as we embark on this exciting journey of knowledge sharing and collaboration. This conference is not just an event. It's a gathering of bright minds and innovative thinkers from academia and industry, united by a common goal: to explore the transformative power of artificial intelligence in our digital economies. This premier gathering is organized by the SaudiCIS for the first time in Saudi Arabia and co-organized by the IRC for Finance and Digital Economy and the Sadaya KFUPM Joint Research Center for Artificial Intelligence. To officially commence our proceedings, it's my great honor to invite to the stage Dr. Musa Bashrawi, the Director of the IRC for Finance and Digital Economy, for welcoming in conference remarks.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أيها الحفل الكريم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and valued participants. On behalf of the organizing conference committee, I would like to welcome you all to the first Saudi Conference on Information Systems. This conference is a celebration of innovation, collaboration, and knowledge, a platform where academia, industry, and thought leaders converge to exchange ideas and inspire action. Whether you are here to present your research work, discover a new trend, or engage in provoking discussions, we are very thrilled to have you here joining our fabulous event. This conference is scientifically organized by the SaudiCIS, a branch of the Premier Association for Information Systems, and co-organized by two research centers, the FDE, Finance and Digital Economy, and SaudiCIS KFUPM Research Center. We also don't forget KIC's team, who have been very instrumental in making this conference a reality. I'm going to take you through a journey where we start and up we are commencing this conference. So by June 1st, we announced the call for papers. We have a submission deadline by July 20, so we give like one month and 20 days, though there was two extension being done. By July 31st, the notification acceptance were communicated to all authors. This is happening after an extensive blind review process. By August 15, the final submissions was ready and already going to accommodate the presentations, or what we call the technical sessions. We dreamt of having a successful conference, and today we are accomplishing that. We are KFUPM branded. We dream and accomplish. For the keynote speakers, we're very excited to host very renowned names coming from different parts of the world, from United States, from Singapore, Australia, and Hong Kong. They are excited to come to Saudi Arabia, sharing their knowledge through different research areas, such as digital innovation, governance and platforms, cybersecurity, and so on. Also, we are very excited to host guest speakers. They travel from Switzerland, Canada, Spain, and also from Riyadh, the capital city. And they are coming here to share their expertise across different topics, like AI and data strategies, shaping the future of AI, AI in logistic sectors, and different topics. For the first time conference in SaudiCIS, as a SaudiCIS, or we say in Saudi Arabia, we received 81 submissions, which is a good number, reflecting this emerging sector. Out of those 81 submissions, we have 53 accepted papers, reflecting acceptance rate of around 65%. It's a good rate, comparing the blind review process all papers went through. We had 77 reviews. Those achieved around 189 reviews. By the way, all papers have received at least 2 reviews Some papers received 3, and others received 4. Those contributions came from 75 plus institutions and basically represented by different countries. The major contribution came from Saudi Arabia, Germany, UK, and US. The key figures. The conference registration number has crossed 500. This is a good number as we are just commencing. The SaudiCIS here. For the scientific side, we have 10 research tracks. Those tracks ranging from AI in societies to innovation in business and financial sector. Those tracks are being translated into different research presentations. Around 50 plus research presentations accommodate those research tracks. Also, we have 10 plus exhibitors. Those are situated in the lobby. You can visit them later and see their digital innovations. We have 6 invited talks, 2 keynote speeches, 5 workshops, and 4 panel discussions. All those knowledge sharing sessions are revolving around AI, digital transformation, and innovation. It's our pleasure and part of our duty to help advancing career development for junior faculty. So this is why we organize what's called Junior Faculty Consortium. By connecting junior faculty members to distinguished senior scholars, helping them and guiding them, navigating the academic challenges and achieving balanced professional life. Also, it's our part of our duty to lift up doctoral students. So this is why we organize what's called doctoral receive feedback and connect with peers and experts. For the awards, to recognize the highly quality submissions, we will be awarding around 9 awards. 6 awards going for full paper and extended abstracts, and also to appreciate the contribution by reviewers, we will be awarding 3 reviewers. Serving the scientific community of information systems. Some papers, they're gonna have the chance to be shortlisted and get published either in Arab Journal of Administrative Science from to connect and grow. Thank you for being here. I wish you all an inspiring conference ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Al-Bashrawi, for your insightful remarks. Now, let's learn more about the conference, about the research efforts undertaken by both centers, the IRC for Finance and Digital Economy Center and the SaudiCIS KFUPM Joint Center for AI.
KFUPM. Looking forward, the center aims to expand its infrastructure by establishing a fintech hub and a gaming lab. These initiatives are designed to strengthen the center's influence within the fintech ecosystem and the gaming industry, while also providing vital support to local startups. The Finance and Digital Economy Center can play a vital role in advancing the kingdom's economic objectives by driving innovation and research excellence in fintech, gaming and esports, and AI in healthcare. Through its significant achievements and forward-looking strategies, the center is poised to make substantial contributions both nationally and globally.
The SDAA KFUPM Joint Research Center for Artificial Intelligence, JRCAI, established in January 2022 at KFUPM, aims to advance research in AI.
The AI Center is a collaborative effort between the Saudi Data and AI Authority and KFUPM University. It is strategically situated within the College of Computing and Mathematics at KFUPM, providing access to a rich pool of talent and a vibrant academic environment.
The mission of the center is to create a world-class research environment equipped with state-of-the-art technology and to develop local AI competencies. Key projects at the center include DermVision 1.0, an AI-enabled skin lesion diagnostic software, an AI monitoring system for personal protective equipment, Ishara, a project on Saudi Sign Language research, and an AI-based inspection system for PV panels using drones.
As we move towards shaping the future of artificial intelligence, JRCAI remains a place of inspiration and dedication.
The center's focusing on high-impact AI solutions. Achievements of the center include over 160 publications in prestigious venues, 16 patent applications, and training more than 80 students in AI research and development.
The center gave me a chance to know new people and have the same passion as me in AI.
Despite facing challenges such as obtaining local data for AI solutions, the center's alignment with national strategies and its commitment to innovation distinguish it from other similar centers globally.
Our aim is to position SaudiCIS KFUPM Joint Research Center at the forefront of the AI research and development, and to significantly contribute to the kingdom and to the AI community.
Highlighting its partnership with SDAIA is crucial, as it underscores the center's role in advancing Saudi Arabia's data and AI agenda.
By developing innovative AI solutions, we aim to significantly enhance the efficiency and convenience of our daily life and foster a thriving economy.
By combining a diverse team's expertise with national strategic goals, the center is committed to driving groundbreaking AI research, developing impactful solutions, and cultivating a dynamic talent ecosystem.
Now, it's my pleasure to invite to the stage the man leading the research transformation at KFUPM, Dr. Ali Sheikhi, the Vice President of Research and Innovation, to give the patronage speech on behalf of the President of KFUPM.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Musa, for the introduction. I'd like to thank everybody for the excellent effort that they put. I really didn't do much. All the teams, they did really marvelous job in organizing this event and to make it appear today to light. So lots of people really behind the scene that they did almost all of the job. Also special thanks to the university administration in general, the president also for his unwavering support as well. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. I'm just worried that maybe my talk will be boring. There is no excellent videos like what you saw, but I'll try my best. Our esteemed CEO and heads of national centers and private sectors, honorable faculty member, researchers, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And good morning to everyone. On behalf of the President of KFUPM, Dr. Mohammed Al-Saggaf, I convey to you his greeting and best wishes for a fruitful conference. I am also honored and delighted to welcome you all to KFUPM on this great occasion, marking the inauguration of Saudi Conference on Information System, SaudiCIS. We are thrilled to have you join us for this milestone, proudly affiliated with the Association of Information System, AIS, and organized by the IRC of Finance and Digital Economy, SDAIA Joint Center, and Saudi AIS, with the support, of course, of KFUPM Institute for Knowledge Exchange, KIX. Today, in this conference, and under the theme of artificial intelligence in digital economies, we open our doors to academics, researchers, and industry professionals from around the world, united by a shared dedication to advancing AI technologies and driving innovation across diverse sectors. As AI continues to revolutionize fields like e-commerce, fintech, healthcare, and supply chain management, its role in transforming digital economies has become not only vital, but also expansive and critical, ultimately driving greater efficiency, transparency, and adaptability. AI is creating unprecedented value and redefining competitive landscape, positioning itself as a key driver of economic resilience and growth in today's digital world. AI-powered solutions such as machine learning, predictive analytics, and process automation will be discussed in this conference to pave the way for responsible and inclusive AI integration that not only enhances productivity, but also respects societal values and individual rights. At KFUPM, let me now just shift gears and talk a little bit about KFUPM. So at KFUPM, we really firmly believe that education and research play pivotal roles in shaping the future. Therefore, since 2020, KFUPM has been undergoing a major and exciting transformation, both in education and research, with the objective to help to diversify our economy. We believe that to achieve this ambition, we need to produce future economy-creating talents and improve our human resources capabilities, along with having high-end infrastructures. We based early on all our undergraduate majors on AI by establishing what we call AI plus X program for all our undergraduate students. We developed concentration programs called CX, and we developed industry-driven master programs called MX. All these nearly 100 programs that we created only the last 4 years are futuristic in nature, market-driven, and in line with Kingdom's Vision 2030. We also, in the education sector, revamped our senior design project. We empowered our students. We empowered female across all sectors, making history that our intake of female students in the last couple of years exceeded 40% in engineering, making it the highest intake of female students worldwide, in engineering, worldwide. We introduced also lately, this is last thing we did, the direct bachelor to PhD program as a first of its kind in Saudi Arabia. In the research sector, we introduced 22 new thematic research centers of innovation solution spirit and of interdisciplinary collaborative nature, with the objective that our research must have a positive impact on our community and humanity. Through industry partnership and along all our chain of ecosystem, we hope we can take our research to higher technology readiness level, TRLs. I am also pleased to announce that KFUPM launched recently its 7-year research strategy, 2024-2023, that aligns with the 4 national focus areas, which are energy and industrial leadership, sustainable environment and essential needs, economies of the future, and health and wellness. Inspired by leading research-intensive universities, KFUPM incorporated grand challenges as a primary focus in shaping its strategic research plan, with emphasis on interdisciplinary collaboration and strategic partnership with government and industry to ensure an impactful contribution to the diversification of Saudi economy while serving the broader needs of society and humanity. This research strategy is designed as a dynamic framework, not a rigid agenda, allowing KFUPM to adapt swiftly to emerging opportunities or challenges within the national ecosystem. This flexibility ensures that KFUPM can readily incorporate new research directions, keeping the university at the forefront of innovation. It's with also immense pride and excitement that I share with you a remarkable recognition of KFUPM. Recently, we have been ranked 101 in the world according to QS ranking, and fourth globally by the US Patent Office in the number of granted patents for the universities. In 2024, World Subject Ranking by QS ranked KFUPM second in petroleum engineering. Worldwide in subject ranking, second in petroleum engineering, 8th in mining and minerals, 37th in civil engineering, 48th in chemical engineering, 54th in mechanical engineering, 58th in data science and AI, and 62nd in electrical engineering. All our engineering actually are in the top 62 or so. We are really proud of this recognition, although it is not an objective, but it's an excellent recognition for KFUPM. Last, I know that maybe I talked a little bit too much, but last, inshallah not least, we look forward, inshallah, for an inspiring and productive conference filled with insightful discussion and meaningful connection as we work together to unlock the potential of AI for a transformative impact on the kingdom and global digital landscape. I wish you all a productive and successful conference, and always remember our KFUPM motto, let's dream big and accomplish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sheikhi. I would like to kindly ask you to stay on the stage. At KFUPM, we firmly believe that without partnership, our vision cannot be achieved. Therefore, we are excited to officially launch few collaborative agreements with two of our partners, the Eastern Healthcare Cluster and Kafala National Program. First, I would like to invite to the stage the representatives of the Eastern Healthcare Cluster for launching the collaborative agreement. Next, I would like to invite the representatives of Kafala National Program for launching the collaborative agreement. Now, we would like to show our appreciation to some of our important partners who are collaborating with us to achieve national goals in the field of AI and digital innovation. First, I would like to invite to the stage the representative of AILA. The representative of the Recycling Bank. The representative of Innovera. The representative of Sinba Tech. The representative of Eastern Healthcare Cluster. The representative of Kafala National Program. Thank you, our dear partners, for your valuable contributions. Now, it's the time for a group picture with the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this engaging morning session, we invite you to take a well-deserved break. Join us for a refreshing coffee break and an exhibition tour.
Back everyone. I hope you've had an amazing coffee break and had the chance to explore the conference exhibition in the lobby just behind you. My name is Ahmed Al Muhammad. I'm a software engineering student at KFUPM, and I'm glad to kickstart the first keynote session of this conference, delivered by Professor Yongjin Yu from Case Western Reserve University. He will be discussing on the topic of organizing in the age of generative machines. Professor Yongjin Yu will deliver right now under the moderation of Professor Amr Al-Jarallah, who will give a brief introduction about Professor Yu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amr Al-Jarallah. I'm assistant professor at the MIS at King Saud University. And I'm very glad to have the chance to present Professor Yongjin Yu. Yongjin Yu is the Elizabeth M. and William C. Troaft Professor in Entrepreneurship and Professor of Information Systems at the Department of Design and Innovation at the Withered School of Management, Case Western Reserve University, where he also serves as the Associate Dean of Research. Professor Yongjin Yu is an Association of Information System Fellow. He is also WBS Distinguished Research Environment Professor at Warwick Business School, UK. He's a faculty co-coordinator of XLab at Case Western Reserve University. He has worked as the innovation architect at the University Hospitals in Cleveland, overseeing the digital transformation efforts at one of the largest teaching hospital systems in the country. He studies digital innovation and has published at leading academic journals such as MIS Quarterly, ISR Information System Research, Organization Science, the Journal of AIS Information and Organization, the Communications of the ACM, and the Academy of Management Journal. His keynote speech for today is titled Matter, Sign, Bits, and Vectors, Organizing in the Age of Generative Machines. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Professor Yongjin Yu.
Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for the invitation. So this is honor and privilege to speak here on day one. So the title of my talk, do I get my slide? Okay. So the title of my talk is Matter, Sign, Bits, and Vectors, Organizing in the Age of Generative Machine. This is the field of information systems always dealt with the relationship between matter and sign. The central question that we pursue is how to represent the physical world using digital symbols, and how digital technology affords us to do things that we could not do without technology. Such questions allows us to further explore the impact of digital technology on the work, organization, industry, and also our own identity. So in doing so, we always dealt with the bits as the fundamental unit of analysis as a technology. It was the relationship between atoms and bits, if you will. However, in this talk, I would like to put forward an argument that the fundamental unit of contemporary AI is just shifting from bits to something else, vectors. And it has a profound implication on the way we think about work and organizations. In doing so, I'd like to point out that the shift is quite deceptively subtle to the extent that we think it is just an incremental change from the previous technology. And through the course of this talk, I hope to convince you that we are dealing something quite fundamentally different. So I'd like to show you a short 90-second video. This video, you can lower the volume because we don't have any sound. So this video was originally created in 1944 by two psychologists, Heider and Simmel, for their experiments. So please watch. All right. So what do you see here? According to their study across different cultures, people come to the same conclusion or similar conclusion, despite that we are only dealing with three abstract geometric forms: two triangles, big one, small one, and one circle, moving around. And people interpret this animation representing some sort of triangle relationship. They see love, hate, anger, aggression, competition, envy, loneliness, and despair. So I first saw this video when I visited the AI lab at the USC, which was funded by US Navy. They were trying to build an AI machine to interpret this particular video in the way that humans do. So when I saw that project, I said, why the hell did Navy would like to fund such a study? It turns out Navy sailors who are monitoring radar, the only thing they can see are bleeping objects and moving. And by seeing those movements and objects, they have to interpret the meaning of these objects and movements to determine whether these are enemies or friends. And reading this interpretation is not in the object, it's in the brain. And they couldn't do it. Now, some of you may have heard an episode of NPR, This American Life podcast, which is actually a broadcasting show. Their June 23rd, 2023, last year episode tells the story of a group of Microsoft researchers who were given an opportunity to see GPT-4 before they were available to the public. These were highly educated former academics who were very skeptical about the OpenAI's claim that these machines actually have an intelligence. They try everything possible to prove there is no intelligence. So they wrote a paper about their experience. And at the conclusion, they said, we believe GPT-4's performance is strikingly close to human-level performance. We believe that it could reasonably be viewed as an early version of an artificial general intelligence system. Now, what they had to do was, they had to first come up with a test that the machine has not been trained by. So the test that they came up with was, the prompt was on the top, was like how to create a stack of a book, 9 eggs, a laptop, and a nail stably. So they gave the same prompts to GPT 3.5, which was public at the time, and GPT-4. And as you can see, GPT-3 completely failed. It says, put those eggs on the top of nail, which didn't make any sense. GPT-4, however, completely nailed it. Not only that, it gave reasoning behind why each of these instructions make sense. So Peter Lee, who was the author of the team, could not sleep that night. So in the middle of the night, he woke up with an idea. Because GPT-4, or large language models in general, cannot see the image, he decided to ask GPT to come up with a unicorn using programming language called TICZ. So this is what it produced. And this is how the picture evolved over a month. You can see these images were getting more sophisticated. Here's what I want you to think about. The original image, which is on the far left, it's just a mixture of abstract geometric forms, circles, ovals, rectangles, and a triangle. If I did not tell you that this was supposed to be a unicorn, you may not see it as a unicorn. However, now you heard that it was supposed to be a unicorn, you cannot not see it as a unicorn. Now the point here is that the unicorn is not in there, unicorn is in your mind. Your brain has learned to recognize certain things as a unicorn. It's a socialization that takes place in our brain. What is amazing here is that not only GPT-4 was able to produce an image that it thinks is a unicorn, but it thinks like a human brain to the extent that we will recognize in our brain the meaning of this geometric form as a unicorn. So, going back to USC AI Lab, I was wondering, what if GPT-4 sees the video that I created, and will it be able to interpret in the same way that humans do? My first task was then to create a program to simulate or replicate the video. So I wrote a small Python program to replicate the original video, and I used GPT-4 to do it. And this is the simulation, replicated video. It's not perfect, but it's quite close. So then I gave this code to an LLM model and asked it to interpret the code to see if it can understand what's happening. It was able to visualize the video, and it says there are 14 scenes. So then I said, can you interpret what's going on here? And this is what it wrote. Now it is pretty remarkable. It is interpreting the geometric, abstract movement of geometric forms almost like a human would do. So now go to the main story here. So throughout the human history, we, human race, struggle with the limitations of our material existence. As a Homo sapiens, we are blessed with a remarkable software, our brain, a highly efficient, imaginative, symbolic processing, and generative computational machine. This symbolic knowledge has allowed us to transcend the boundaries of our immediate physical reality and explore the vast realms of abstract thoughts and creativity. However, we are also cursed with a feeble body subject to the constraints and frailties of the material world. We are not the most resilient species on earth. We are not the strongest. We are not the fastest. However, throughout the history, we have constantly thought ways to overcome these material constraints to extend our reach and amplify our impact beyond the limitations of our physical forms. This tension between the symbolic and the material, between boundless potential of our minds and the harsh realities of our bodies, has been the central theme that drove our civilization. The story of lost paradise, a place of material abundance, the land where honey and milk flow, is a recurring theme across cultures. The first Chinese emperor, Qin Shi Huang, sought the elixir of immortality, hoping to escape the bonds of physical death. In the modern era, the fascination with the non-material digital assets with zero marginal cost led some economists to call for an abundant economy. Other technologists believe that we will be able to reach the moment of singularity when we can upload our consciousness to machines, overcoming the material constraint of our body. Recently, Mark Anderson, founder of Netscape, wrote an essay, The Technology Optimist Manifesto, in which he portrays technology as the single most powerful and positive force, curing all possible limits of human civilizations. And most recently, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, wrote a similar essay, The Intelligence Age, where he wrote, we became more capable, not because of genetic change, but because of the infrastructure we built. And he further says, with these new abilities, we can have shared prosperity. So the human civilization is a direct outcome of our collective accomplishments of overcoming the material limitations we find here and now with our own bodies. So there are two key strategies that I'd like to talk about how we overcame our material limitations. First, we're using our imaginative power. We learn to domesticate the material world around us. We shaped stones, wood, metals into tools and machines that could amplify our physical strength and extend our reach. From the earliest stone axes and spears to the wheels and levers and steam engines of later eras, these material tools allowed us to transform our environment and harness new sources of energy for our purposes. Second and more profound strategy, I believe, is that we discover the power of a symbolic knowledge through abstraction. Through the development of language, mathematics, and other symbols, we found ways to represent and manipulate the world in abstract terms. These abstract tools allowed us to communicate complex ideas across time and space, to build complex models and theories to represent the world so that they will guide our actions and accumulate and transmit knowledge across generations. In essence, the use of symbolic abstractions allowed for a kind of disembodiment of knowledge from its immediate material context. The abstract ideas encoded in knowledge tokens could take on a life on their own, independent of any particular physical instantiation. This embodiment of knowledge and the invention of various knowledge tokens was the crucial step in the development of culture, science, and economy, as it allowed us to create and transmit complex ideas and practice across time and space. The combination of material tools and symbolic abstraction then allowed us to create various forms of machines which have been the driving force of human progress throughout the history. Sometimes we were able to do what we did in the past simply better. Sometimes we were able to do things that we could not before. By creating new machines that embody new abstract knowledge in new material forms, humans have been able to harness new sources of energy that were not available before. This is a theme that I will keep returning. Exploring different combination of different forms of matter with a symbolic knowledge leads to a new combination of a form, function, and matter. In essence, this is what we do when we design. And design is how we develop new technology which changes the way we work. So the question that I like to pose here is that how does the technology development through design affect work? And here, I'd like to turn to James Sussman. He's an anthropologist at Oxford, and his recent book on work. So James Sussman argues that work involves the transfer or application of energy to change a given condition. He draws the classic work by French mathematician Gaspard Gustave Coriolis. He notes that the work, original definition of work, describes force that is needed to move object over a given distance. In other words, to change a given condition. That's what it means to work. He further notes that all living beings are critically dependent on transferring inorganic matter into energy so that we can survive. For him, living is working. entry barrier of using these large language models. Then 2018, we started seeing emergence of transformer-based trained LLMs. So 2018, Google introduced BERT with 340 parameters. OpenAI, GPT-1, 170 million. 2019, 1.5 billion. GPT-2, GPT-3, 2020, 175 billion. Around 2020, there was a paper by Gerard Kaplan and who was at the time Johns Hopkins. He was a physicist, along with a bunch of people at OpenAI, demonstrating that scale matters. So then OpenAI people followed that suggestion, built ChatGPT 3.5. That was November 30th, 2022. It reached 100 million users in just 2 months. With that, we completed our journey to a semantic and organic machine. So what does this all mean for IS scholars? I'd like to spend next few minutes on this, and then we can have a Q&A. First, it clearly separates us from the previous digital revolution. If you recall, digital revolution is based on 2 fundamental ideas of Neumann computing architecture and Klaus Shannon's digital signal. And the 2010 paper I wrote with Ola Hemferson and Kalle Luttinen, we argued that digitalization leads to 2 separate separations, right? The first one, separation of device and service. And the second one is content and network. This separation led to the foundation of layer module architecture, we argued, and that have driven the rapid growth of digital innovation over the last decades. The key benefits of these separations were the ability to recombine discrete system-agnostic functional components and synthetic data objects in bits in novel ways, in a way that people have not thought about before, enabling combinatorial explosive growth of innovations. Now, with the advent of vector embedding techniques, we are witnessing, I believe, a new form of separation of representation and semantics. By transforming words, images, and other data type into high-dimensional vectors in a continuous semantic space, embedding techniques essentially decouple raw data from its semantic content. The meaning of raw data comes from their immediate material context. Bits remove the context, vector brings context back. Through the embedding process, these contexts are transformed into in the forms of relationalities represented through high-dimensional vectors. The resulting semantic vectors are context-agnostic, polysemantic, high-dimensional vectors. They can be flexibly recombined, manipulated, reused across different modalities, different applications, and different domains. This separation of representation and semantics opens up a completely new kind of combinatorial space, a space of semantic innovation. In addition to combining discrete functional modules and syntactic objects of data, this new paradigm or forms of innovation allows us to manipulate and transform continuous semantic vectors using mathematical operations. Just as system-agnostic modular components can be combined to create new functional wholes, and vast array of bits can be manipulated with algorithms, context-agnostic polysemantic objects might be combined and transformed to create new semantic entities. This is what I call semantic compositionality, where new meaningful representations can be created through recombining or manipulating these semantic vectors. I'd like to call this a new form of innovation as semantic innovation. At the heart of semantic innovation is the idea that meanings can be represented as points in a high-dimensional vector space. However, it is critical to note that meaning is not static property that resides in individual polysemantic objects. Rather, meanings emergently arise from the relationships and interaction between these polysemantic vectors within and across layers. These high-dimensional granular polysemantic vectors are pregnant with potential meanings. As we manipulate these vectors and stimulate using prompts, new meaningful representations emerge. The power of a semantic innovation lies in its ability to manipulate these combinations to explore the vast combinatorial space of possible meanings. This is where high dimensionality of semantic vectors come into play. In a high-dimensional space, there are exponentially more possible combinations and configurations of polysemantic objects than in low-dimensional space. We can only handle so many dimensions. Machines can handle far more. This is why AlphaFold and other deep learning techniques can uncover things that we cannot discover. So imagine the possibility of applying these embedding techniques with different types of data beyond data will unlock a lot of opportunities. So the rise of semantic machines also changed the way we think about creativity. I'd like to propose these large language models, particularly the frontier Gen AI models, represent new form of disembodied collective knowledge common, a vast body of knowledge and the capabilities that are no longer tied to specific individuals or locations or time, but are embodying a vast distributed networks of semantic machines that can be accessed and leveraged from anywhere at any time by anybody. Such collaborative, collective knowledge common can be radically transform the way we work. The work of Holly Hurdon, an electronic composer and AI researcher, provides a compelling example. In her most recent album, Proto, Hurdon and her collaborators trained a neural network on a diverse data set of vocal recordings, including everything from folk singing to online gaming chats to sacred church choirs. By learning from the heterogeneous corpus of vocal movement, the AI model named Spawn developed a rich semantic understanding of the human voice, abstracted away from any specific context or genre. Hurdon and her team used Spawn as a collaborator in the creative process, feeding it new vocal inputs and manipulating its output to generate novel sonic textures and music ideas. In essence, they were able to tap into the latent semantic energy of the multitude of voices from millions of people as encoded in Spawn's neural network to fuel a new kind of creative work. Now, this type of work requires careful understanding of how we control the ownership, control, and value with this kind of disembodied and widely distributed assets in the form of models. We have seen already abuse of data and models by leading firms. We do not have a governance model. And I think this is another area that I, as scholars, really have to put our efforts to understand. Finally, the emergence of generative machines with its organic and semantic nature represent not just technological innovation, but it's going to profoundly shift the source of and application of energy in our society. And in many ways, this will also, therefore, changes the way we relate to work and technology and organization. So in the pre-industrial era, the energy primarily came from human and animal labor, as I said. In the industrial age, it was coming from the fossil fuel. In the digital age, it came from the movement of bits and the reduction of uncertainty. Now we are moving into the generative AI, generative machines, and we will certainly consume more energy, but I would argue that we're going to consume different kind of energy, which is coming from human labor that is harnessing our understanding and creation of meanings. We're tapping into the hidden meanings and relationalities encoded in these high-dimensional polysemantic vectors, which requires human efforts. You create words, you create music, you create image, and it encodes meaning the way we see it. They are harnessed by these machines to create and train new model. Also, as a previous revolution, the generative machines will bring new forms of organizing. The agriculture brought tribal system. The Industrial Revolution brought hierarchical organizations. Digital revolution brought network organizations. So the ban of generative machines could lead to the new type of organizing form, and I do not know what that would look like. I think that's another topic that we should think about. We will see also foundational shift on the knowledge claims. During the pre-industrial age, the source of knowledge came from our experience. During the industrial age, the source of knowledge claim came from institutionalized arrangements of vertical occupational expertise and within an organization. During the digital revolution, it changed to institutional arrangements representing horizontal and professional expertise. Now we have to understand how the institutional arrangement of knowledge claim will change in this age of generative machines. It is important because these cognitive and semantic machines are directly attacking the very essence of knowledge claim. Finally, to fund most of these resources to harness different types of energy, we need new forms of economic model. Modern finance emerged during the Industrial Revolution with the development of separation of ownership and management. During this time, partnership between entrepreneurial industrialists and investment bankers and labor union was formed to finance big expensive physical machines to guarantee long-term ROI. During the emergence of digital revolution, this partnership got changed. In 80s, most Western financial system has been deregulated. It introduced the new investors, such as institutional investors, retirement funds, sovereign funds, hedge funds, family offices. Also, through the use of retail, e-commerce, e-trading technology, retail investors showed up. Now, the rise of these new types of investors completely unravel the partnership between traditional investment banks and then industrial entrepreneurs. Instead of seeking long-term ROI, they were looking for short-term stock value. Now, this is going to change, and then using this financing form, they were funding human attention. So if you look at what Amazon and Apple and Google, these companies doing, as long as they keep users' eyeball coming into the platform, the companies are funding this, and then that feeds these machines to continue to grow. Now, with the rise of generative machine, we have to figure out how to fund this. These are more expensive in so many different ways, and we still do not quite understand how it works. Clearly, OpenAI's attempts to raise private capital is not sustainable at that level. The way they burn the money and the earth is not certainly sustainable. So what is the next model of funding this? We do not yet know. Perhaps fintech and crypto might have an answer. Just as we ourselves become the source of energy, we become perhaps bank. So since the beginning of our field, I'm coming to the end, we have been focusing on the transition from industrial era to the digital era. Over the last 15 years or so, we began seeing the gradual shift of to the generative era with first organic machines, now with the semantic machines. So the future of IS scholarship must be directed to understand the nature of these new machines and its impact on individuals, their work, their identity, organization, and institutions. We must explore how new financial instruments are developed to support this. We need to examine different architecture of technology. We need to understand the materiality of technology. Unfortunately, I see that many of us just glance over the details of technology and simply embracing generative AI as yet another IT artifact. And then we rush to the old familiar topic as power, identity, and decisions, and so on and so forth. And I worry that we are likely come to the wrong conclusion, missing real important change, because we do not spend enough time to understand what really is changing underneath the hood. So we strive ourselves as at the intersection of technology and social problems, just as we cannot ignore social issues. We cannot scuttle around technology only superficially. We must go deeper into technology. Only then, I believe, we can begin to understand how these generative machines are different from previous ones and what are their true consequences are. So thank you. Took too long.
Thank you very much, Professor Youngjin. Thank you for this fascinating talk. I think due to time constraints, we'll try our best to make it a short Q&A session. I will start from where you finished. You touched upon the point of understanding. I think it is very important to have a better understanding of what we are talking about. The theme of this conference is about artificial intelligence. I mean, the word artificial is somehow understood. It is unnatural or somehow made. But what about intelligence? You know, the theory of intelligence, of multiple intelligence, talks about different types of intelligence, like spatial intelligence, naturalist, musical intelligence, logical, mathematical, and so on. They have like maybe 7 or 9 different types of intelligence. So what kind of intelligence are we talking about here? Are we focused on just certain types like linguistics and certain abilities of movements that we can use it in manufacturing? Or are we really talking about all kinds of intelligence? And what's the ability of machine?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. And certainly I think at the beginning, we'll be able to do certain low-level or very specialized intelligence. So one of the projects that we are doing now is with a ticketing agent. So the company deals with Taylor Swift, and they sell all the tickets of Taylor Swift and many other very famous musicians. It's an online ticket, so there's a lot of customer service issues, right? So they train AI voice bot to handle phone calls. That's very specific intelligence to deal with it. But then they train another model to allocate every single call has to be allocated to the cost center, whether it is a musician or company or venue. It's very tedious work that requires a human to read the transcript, make a judgment, like, oh, this is a fault of so-and-so, and it costs us $2, and we are charging them $2. Now it is completely automated by the machine. So that requires different intelligence. But in the course of doing it, what we realized is that this machine that is being trained to allocate the calls to different venues has general intelligence of understanding the meaning of a particular location. So we thought during the training that machine was hallucinating. It says this must be this venue. I said, no, this is not that venue. Why did you say that? So we asked the machine, why did you say that? I said, well, the person described it has like a handicap access, this and that. In that region, the only venue that has handicap access is this. So that's why I concluded that the location has to be that. Like, wow, we never expected the machine would go through that kind of reasoning. So that's a different kind of intelligence, right? So, I mean, I think we are beginning to see some sort of higher level. I'm not ready to say it is a general artificial intelligence, but I think it's broader and to a certain extent surprising. This is why I talked about these semantic innovations, right? This combination of these high-dimensional, granular, polysemantic objects, I think is something that we never thought about, and this is something that is quite exciting.
Thank you very much. I think you talked about Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI. In the beginning, I think he was asked about how do they generate money or how do they generate revenue from their solution. He said, I don't know. We don't have any plans to generate money, but we will ask it.
Right.
We will ask the ChatGPT, how do we generate money? I think this point is very important because now we are relying on the machines for creativity. So where are we in terms of creativity, in terms of machine creativity versus human creativity? I mean, do we use it together? Do we rely on machine creativity? Is machine creativity outpacing human creativity? So if you can shed light on some of these points.
So, when you think about value, I always like to think about value creation and value capture. At the moment, I don't think generative AI in general is creating enough value to justify for people to generally subscribe these services, right? Many of us here is very bias sample. We are professionals interested in AI, and that's why we are using it, and we do coding and so on and so forth. So that might be the reason. However, general public, they do not necessarily have the needs to pay $20. So if you think about $20 as the value threshold, they have not yet met that threshold. So this is why OpenAI is still bleeding cash, despite all the money that they generate. They're generating revenue, but not enough revenue or value to capture value themselves, right? However, those who are using in a very specific way, they can actually capture value better because they are reducing the cost of running business, right? So I think we will begin to see this kind of a pattern and so on. Now, in certain areas, I think we will begin to see massive innovation like a drug discovery. So, area where our low dimensional imagination creativity is very limited, and we really need to explore vast amount of different combinatorial, sort of innovation possibilities. I think that's where the value will be created, and I think we're just beginning to scratch the surface. And if anybody says anything definitive about generative AI now, I think they are all lying because the technology is changing every day, every month, right? So.
Thank you very much. I think we'll have some time to take questions from the audience, please.
Yeah, it's working now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Youngjin. I have a question regarding, a huge debate that is now taking more moment with generative AI. The debate about automation versus augmentation. Now, this is a debate that has been there since the first industrial revolution with the, class conflict, and Marxism and capitalism and all these kind of stuff. People think that this is a new debate. No, it's actually an old debate. Automation, where the machine will replace the humans. Augmentation, where we combine the human and the machine together. Now, you had a lot of question marks in your slides about the, the organizing and for organizing around this kind of technologies, and then talk about the financial institutions. What about how we are dealing with this new kind of, revolution, the generative revolution? Are we moving from automation to augmentation, to something new? What are your thoughts about this idea?
Yeah, I think I completely agree with you. I think in the space of this type of generative AI or generative machines in general, the current dominant economic discourse looking at only automating and augmenting is extremely limiting, because they seem to assume that we are only doing the same thing. What we have to see is the expansion of possibilities, right? So we begin to do things that we never thought possible. So even the old technology is never simply augmenting and automating. It allows us to do new things, you know? So our ancestors never dreamed of going to Mars, and now Elon Musk wants to live on Mars. So, you know, that's a new possibility. It is not automating. Now, in that larger narrative, there's a lot of automating, a lot of augmenting, but the grand story that we are doing, that's what is happening, right? So I think we need, so I'd like to pay more attention to what's possible, you know, what's expanded spaces that is taking place. But at the same time, it creates all kinds of unintended consequences that we have to worry about. And, you know, we just did an editorial about, you know, ISR and digital innovation. This recombinatorial innovation created lots of opportunities, again, opening up a new possibilities that we never thought possible. You know, ordering food in your dorm room with a click of a button, never thought about possible. We didn't think about it. Yeah, in that process, there's just some replacement and there's an augmentation. But overall, it transformed the way we live our lives. But it came with a huge expense, huge negative consequences. So I think generative AI is even more powerful, and I think we have to really, if we you know, apply anything that we learned over the last 15 years as an IS scholars, and or in general, management scholars in general. Like if you look at the entire you know, Western society at the moment, you know, the role of business played in creating this fragmented geopolitical system and sort of disparate, you know, this separation, polarization of the domestic economy, in by and large part due to the work that we did as scholars to promote certain types of theories. And now we're dealing with the consequences of it, and then we're blaming the actors, many academic, my colleagues, blaming the actors who manifest those problems to us. Now, we do not, if we do not change the way we approach to our academic work, thinking carefully about who is our audience and what is implication of the work that will come out of our work or application of our work, we'll make things even worse. And then deleting Twitter account is a good protest, but actually it doesn't solve the problem. And then we have to realize, look into the mirror, and then we were part of the problem. All the papers we have written over the last 40 years, management scholars promoting global integration, and now it created huge value, as I said, right? It opens up new possibilities. But within that huge value creation, there is a replacement, there is automation, there is augmentation. We just focus on that part without thinking about this. That led us to this current challenging context. And Gen AI, I think, is going to be even bigger. So we really have to be careful about how we study it. So,
thank you, Professor Young John. I think this is a fascinating topic, and we still have maybe millions of questions. However, I think we'll have a break now, and after that, we'll return back to paper session that will start at 1:10, 1:15, 1:15. Thank you very much for this fascinating talk. And we'll meet around. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.